Yeah, I first met Luke, I think it was about 2007, and he was coming in, he was this like skinny, tall, ugly kid, still is ugly, and our friendship started from there, and I see he's had a real good work ethic towards training, so of course he's part of the team now like family, and we train a lot together, but like we live together at the gym. He's say we're husband and wife, we get teased a bit, husband and wife, of course I'm the husband, he's the wife, so I'm the man. Yeah, just he works hard, and I think he's got potential. He's young, he's only 23 now, coming 24, so he's got a lot of potential. But he's one of my main sparring partners for my fight camp and for his fight camp.
I get inspiration from a lot of places. I'm a bit of I don't know if there's such thing as an inspiration geek. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. Obviously the guys in the gym, they inspire me a lot. To be fair, the most inspirational guy I know is Jack, my mate, Jack Mason. The guy's a workhorse, he's like a powerhouse. The guy runs a full-time job in London, you know, like in the banking industry, you know, and he works hard, trains harder than me and John combined, and we both live here. He's unbelievable, the guy. And then, obviously John in the UFC, making waves, doing great things, just beat DeMarcus Johnson, 2-0 in UFC, like, I've never met a guy who is as talented. Like, the guy trains hard, don't get me wrong, but he don't train like Jack. He don't even train like me. He does now, but when I started, he just used to turn up, not be that bothered, not dedicated with his diet so much or anything, just turn up and be like, oh, I'm gonna do this today. But he's so talented, and it's inspiring in a different way. You realise that you need those different characters and you need that rest. You need those things that make John good are his mental toughness, his confidence, and the guy's the most confident man alive. He woke up the other day. I don't know if he wants me to tell you this, but he woke up the other day. He said, because he sleeps there, I sleep here. He woke up and went, Luke, last night I had an epiphany. I said, right? He goes, I had an epiphany. I said, what was that? He goes, woke up after watching the UFC. I realised I'm the best in the world. I'm the best to ever live. Like that. And I don't know if he was joking or being serious. I still don't know. But I sort of just went, yeah, alright. Yeah, probably are, mate. Like that. And you feel like, you know, he's just got that. He's got it sorted. And I try and take that into my game. That, you know, I mean, I write a lot of interviews and those sort of things, and I don't think I can be beat. I just don't think like that. I don't think anyone could beat me. And I think if you think you can get beat, why are you doing it? I want to fight the best. I want to be the champion. I want to fight the champions. I don't want to fight some dude who's been training for 2 years who's useless, you know, just to get a win. I'm not like that. I've always said this, like, there's a few idiots around who go, oh, a couple more fights, you'll be in the UFC. But no, I won't. Don't be stupid. Like, and the way I see it, and I learned this from John as well, and he always used to say this, if you can't beat the guys in the UK, you don't deserve to be in the UFC. So if I can't beat the best in the UK, the best of the best, then how am I going to do any good in the UFC? So, you know, that's my mindset, and that's how I think. I want to have 15, 16, 17 fights in the UK, fight everybody, make sure they know that I deserve to be there. You know, like Tom Watson has just made it to UFC. No one's really questioned Tom. No one said, I don't think he's there yet. You know, people are saying, oh, he should have been there a long time, and that's, you know, in my mind, if I ever get there, that's what I want to do as well. So I'm also, with inspiration, I'm also like a keen reader. Like, I read loads of inspirational books. I'm reading I've read about 5 Paulo Coelho books now. Paulo Coelho wrote The Alchemist, which is a book about someone following their dreams, and it's just a brilliant book. I've got a quotes board, which I write loads of quotes on. Like, I wake up every day, and if I think of something, I'll write on there. I'm always quoting stuff on Twitter and Facebook, and it's a bit sad, some people think, but I love it. It's what gets me up in the morning. When I'm running, cutting weight, and I've got a sauna suit on, I'll say some cheesy line to myself, and boom, I'll start sprinting. It's one of those weird things, but yeah, I've got plenty of inspiring people around me, and hopefully, one of the things, another quote is, you know, you surround yourself with the right people. You know, if you've got inspiring people that are trying to achieve something in their lives around you, you're going to do the same. If I've got those people, negative people around me, and think, oh, you're never going to beat this guy, Luke, you're never going to, then I won't, you know. Think about something, it's already done, you're going to do it, basically, is how I think. So, you know, I've literally fought every couple of months. You know, I've had 14, 16, 15 fights, including Thai boxing and boxing, in the last 2 years. So I've been active, you know, like and that's how I like it. I think at my level, until I get up to like where John is, or you know, if I had 15 fights and I'm fighting for titles or whatever, I can fight every couple of weeks. That's how I really feel. I feel like in boxing, when you do your amateur boxing, and it's only amateur boxing, but they fight every week for like 8 weeks, and I don't see why MMA is so different. Yeah, you get injuries and stuff and niggles, but I'm injured all the time. I mean, I've got like 5 injuries right now, but you've got to get through it, you know. So downtime doesn't really exist. My downtime, I've always said this, is rolling. Like, rolling is the most peaceful thing on the planet. You go on the mat, and you, especially when you're rolling with these guys like John and that test you all the time. You know, there's no rolling where you just sort of like thinking about, you know, sitting there thinking about, oh, I've got to do this, or I've got to do that, or I've got to, you know, see my missus, or no, you don't think like that. You get on the mat, and all you can think about is stopping him, choking you, ripping your arm off, whatever. And in a way, that's brilliant, because your mind is just settled, and you just think about your jiu-jitsu, and that's what I see as my downtime. I love to play poker, playing tonight, so a bit of a keen poker player. Me and John play most weeks, and we're going paintballing next weekend, so I sort of try and work in some downtime into my training, so it's like a lifestyle. Yeah, moving up to light heavyweight, it's a big discussion in the gym, like a lot of the time. I think there's been talk, because Alistair Overeem, you know, he was my size when he first started MMA. If you watch his old fights in Pride and that, he was literally built like me, a bit smaller, but shorter, but built like me. My coach always makes jokes and says, we're going to turn you into the next Overeem, yeah, we're going to jack you up and get you massive, but just joking around. And I'm like, no, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in light heavyweight. I think one of the problems with becoming a light heavyweight, like, yeah, I'm walk around at 100 kilos sometimes. I'm a big middleweight, massive middleweight, and making weight sucks. I'm only 24 years old. It could get to the point where it's impossible, but right now it's more than possible. The Big Slow, yeah, brilliant nickname. It's intimidating, right? People are scared of me because I'm called the Big Slow. No, it is the worst nickname in MMA. I love it because it's become like my persona or whatever, and I get people go up to me. My mates call me Biggs now, like Biggie Smalls. They call me Biggs. I'm big. That's cool. But it was the Maguire brothers. They gave me that name. I've said it a few times, but like that day I told you about, when I come into the gym and AJ triangled me or whatever. These guys, I don't know if you look at Twitter or whatever, we insult each other non-stop, and I wasn't really up to speed when I first come, and I was like, walked into the gym, and I just see Tommy look me up and down and just insult me, like straight away, and I was like, oh, you're right. I was really like quite intimidated and a bit gentle and a bit like, alright, okay, didn't want to upset anyone because I was sort of like a guest. So we trained, and then after training we always have a nice chat and sit around. Like sometimes we're here till half 11, 12 o'clock at night just chatting, even though we finished training 2 hours ago. But you know, it's like that, and that's what we were doing that night, talking about me coming up. And they were like, oh, who's this idiot you brought with you, Jack? You know, what's he? Why you bring bums up here to train with us? You know, we're a professional team, right? They're taking the mick out of me. I was like, oh yeah. And Tommy insulted me, said something to me, and I went like that for about 10 seconds, and John went, he's slow, isn't he? Like, I think he's got something wrong with him. And I was like, no. And he goes, oh, he's big as well, isn't he? Look at him, look at the size of him, massive. He's big and slow. And that's where it come from. Big and slow, the Big Slow. And I was like, yeah, brilliant. So now when I fight, people are like, I'm not even that big, I'm tall, but I'm tiny, I'm the skinniest man alive. So yeah, I called the Big Slow, and it doesn't really mean anything except for an insult. So every time they say it, it's an insult. That's how I see it. So, but I think it's kind of nice I didn't pick my nickname, you know, it's not like I'm one of those people that's like Luke the Bruiser or something stupid. I got given it, and it's like sort of like an initiation thing, I think. It stuck. That was the first day I ever started training, and I didn't have a nickname until like my 5th or 6th fight or something, I can't remember, which is like 2 years down the line. But they called me the Big Slow in the gym for 2 years, but I was like, no, I'm not being announced as the Big Slow. And then I sort of just embraced it, and now it's part of me, I suppose. So, something different about me that no one really knows. Well, obviously my friends and that know, but in the MMA world, I never had Christmas growing up. Tommy, one of the two, Tommy, John's brother, we were talking about this last night, saying, oh, you should tell people, because they'll put, you know, I never had Christmas, I never had birthdays, or I had them, but I had a very downed version of them, because my mum's Jehovah's Witness. So as I was growing up, I went to church 3 times a week, like 8 hours a week or something ridiculous. My mum took me on the ministry where you go around and knock on people's doors. Did all that, hated it like with a passion, and yeah, like that's one of the things. Like my parents are quite interesting. My dad, not a Jehovah's Witness, he used to try and sneak me some presents, but never happened. I had present days, whatever you call those, and I used to get bullied at school for it, big time. Like I'd go in and you'd be in school and oh, what'd you get for Christmas? I'd be like, nothing. What do you mean nothing? I got a new bike. You'd be like, good for you, mate. You know, and I think it had an effect on me growing up, but like a positive one, because I was living a different lifestyle to people and it taught me some good lessons, and I think, yeah, that's it. Not many people know that.